Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 12-3 episode of Akashic Answers with Emily. The records are now open. Whew, say hello once you get here. I'm very happy to be back with y'all today. Last week was a rerun while I went out on a little adventure in life. I'm happy to be back here with you. I guess you've survived the solar flares. You're here. What's up? I have too. We're going to talk more about not only the solar activity that we're experiencing right now, but we're experiencing a lot of activity in our skies. There's great data for us as we begin interpreting the symbolism of this activity in our skies, as above, so below. There's also a lot happening out in the world. Depending on what stations you're tuning into, it can either be really exciting to be on the planet right now, or it can be a little scary to be out there. What's up, Chief Flo? Chief Flo Academy. Thanks for saying hello, guys. Say hello to me once you get here. Let me know where you are tuning in from. And thank you for joining me. You could be anywhere right now, and you're choosing to be here to train. So I love Wednesdays with y'all, and I'm bummed that we missed last week. So here's what you can expect in this video. We are going to tap into the field of the Akashic Records. Whether you are familiar with using your Akashic Records or not, you are going to be experiencing a communication with this field today. So I'm going to explain what this field is. Truthfully, we're all tapping into this field anyway. What's up, Mama in the house? Everybody say hello to Mama. And do me a favor. Let's let the inner child come out for a second. Hit that love, like, heart button. Just light up the algorithms here on Facebook. Comment, say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. The more of us that join together here every single week, and the more we connect and bring through energy and we look at life differently. That's truthfully why you're here, to get the most out of this show. Let your defenses down and be willing to look at life differently. Have a few aha moments. That's our goal here today, is to shift our mental perspective, because as we look at life differently, everything shifts and changes. New things become possible. And the Akashic Records, if you are new to this realm, are likened to God mind, to superconscious intelligence. So when we're talking about looking at things differently and shifting our perspective, hey, what better place to tap your perspective into than superconscious intelligence, into the God mind, so you can begin to see from a higher perspective. Trust me, your life is going to start making sense as you tap into this technology, this realm of consciousness known as the Akashic Records. So here's a formal definition. The Akashic Records hold all information, past, present, all possible futures, and is recorded from a neutral perspective. Neutral means unconditional love and zero judgment. Okay? That's not how most of us are approaching life, from that perspective of unconditional love and zero judgment, although we can learn. And that's the divine design, is for us to be able to see ourselves and others through this perspective of unconditional love and zero judgment. So when we learn to tap into the Akashic Records, you get instantaneous soul level wisdom, guidance, and perspective that can help you. First thing we got to do as we're evolving here on the planet is we've got to heal ourselves. So you got to heal our karma. We've got to clean up the areas of our life where we have miscreated. We've created oopsies. We're creating less than ideal circumstances. Or I should say, if we're living ideal. Okay, take two, Emily. The first thing we do with our powers, our quantum powers, is we start waking up and we start taking our power back. We start understanding more of life, is we heal ourselves. We practice on ourselves. All right. And we start making the shifts and changes in our life where our life goes from undesirable circumstances to freaking, I cannot wait to get up in the morning. I love my life. I love what I've been able to create. I love what I get to do, how I get to show up, how I get to serve you all, because I'm on point. I'm on mission. You can figure out what your mission is too in the Akashic Records. Here are some great questions, by the way. This is what we're going to do. I want you all to start lighting up my chat box with questions, because I'm going to channel for you today from the Akashic Records. So just Pop on over there into the comments if you would like some inspiration on how you can ask questions. But when we start tapping into this field and asking intentional questions, we can find the reason why we're stuck in any undesirable circumstance, whether it's your health, whether it's your finances, whether it's your relationships. Peter Voros in the house. And then once we clean up enough of our own lives, it's because basically what we do is all of the areas where our life is undesirable, we're losing energy. So if you're experiencing undesirable manifestations in your finances, you're losing energy because you're going to be stressed out about that all the time, or angry, or constantly in fear that you're not safe. Okay, if you're in narcissistic relationships, a lot of people are, why we're attracting narcissistic relationships, y'all? You know why this is an epidemic problem? Because we're narcissists. Anybody ever told you? It's a big old cosmic mirror. So to heal the narcissism problem that you may or may not be experiencing, we got to look within. All of these challenges, we got to look within. Because that's where we're the essence of where we're creating the undesirable experiences, but it's our job to clean it up. You have a dream life. We all come here with dreams. And that's us truly living in our highest potentiality, is when we all have dreams and we are compelled to pursue those dreams. So once we clean up enough of our energy and life gets easier, okay, you get in financial flow, so you can move about the planet in a way that feels alive to you, and you feel safe, and you feel like you can go on adventures, and you feel like you have options, and you feel free. And then you start cleaning up relationships with others and your relationship with the self, and you have people that are supportive around you, asking you questions like, hey, what are you into? What are your goals? How can I support you with that? And we start showing up and having a completely different experience of life. All right. And I freaking love my life. The Akashic Records have helped me tap into my power to be able to create. And that's why I am here. If this is the first time we're meeting, I'm Emily Harrison, founder, director here inside the Akashic Academy. I work with visionaries and thought leaders, training them to exit the world of ordinary mind and tap into superconscious intelligence through their Akashic Records. When you tap into this level of intelligence, this level of understanding about yourself and who you are, you will be able to break past your previous limitations with ease and tap into your unique creative genius. Okay? And that's what we're going to do here today. So if y'all are ready, I am going to grab questions from the audience. So type your questions in. All right. And I'm going to channel. Now, here's the cool thing about this is every single person can tap into the Akashic Records. We're all already tapped into this field. Okay. We come wired within our DNA to tap into God mind. Some of y'all, your DNA is still dormant. You've got dormant strands of DNA. You got to wake up those strands of DNA. How do you wake up your DNA? High vibe, high vibe, high vibe. Easy. Do stuff that's good for you. Get in nature, meditate, drink water, laugh, eat good food. Okay? These things will raise your vibrational frequency, and you will naturally tap into your own Akashic Records. All right? And stick around to the end, because I'm going to give you guys some tips and tools and tricks on how to do that. And while we're here playing for the next 30, 45 minutes, I'm going to do it for you. All right? So sit back, relax. All y'all have to do is ask questions. And I'm going to channel through insight and medicine for all of us. All right? Even if the insight that comes through is not for you specifically, and it feels like it's resonating with you, if it moves energy in your body and you're like, ooh, I'm getting something, it's for you. Okay, last thing I want to say, and now we're going to dive in. All right, Chi Flow Academy. That's where I am after having an Akashic reading from one of Emily's students. It ignited me almost 8 years ago now. Lynn Marie, at 67, wake up and move my chi with my students. Oh my God. Oh, I want to cry. Lynn, this is awesome. Hey, Lynn, who gave you the reading? Was it Teresa Warren? That's who I'm seeing in my head right now. I don't know who it was though, but what a so good. I love hearing that. What a great way to start. All right. Let's dive in now and keep rocking and rolling. Peter Voras, I understand the concept of affirmations and manifestations, but how does one actually believe them to the point where any self-doubt is eliminated? If there is self-doubt, it cannot work. Okay. I'm glad that you were talking about this, Peter. Self-doubt is huge right now. Actually, I got to find some notes. Are they here? Angels, help me find these notes. So yesterday in my advanced Jedi training, she said, yep, I saw it right. Teresa Warren. Wow, Teresa Warren. Good job, baby. Teresa Warren of Spirit Sessions, by the way. One of my very first students ever. Okay, thanks for jumping around with me. Back to Peter's question. Self-doubt. We're talking about self-doubt. So yesterday in my advanced Akashic Jedi training class, we were remote viewing 3-Eye Atlas. And we asked 3 questions for humanity. Yes, okay. What's the one problem that if it were solved, would eliminate war, okay, and bring about peace on the planet? What is the one problem that if it were solved would eliminate war and bring about peace on the planet? And the guide said it has to do with self-trust. Has to do with trust, which ultimately comes down to self-trust. All right. So if you are working with the energy of self-trust, self-doubt on any level in your own life, in your own microcosm, as above, so below, as within, so without. Okay. If you are working with the energy of self-doubt right now, to you, because you're working with the bigger theme of peace, bringing peace here on the planet. Because as you bring peace within yourself, you lay down the weapons within yourself, the weapons of doubt, the weapons of, let me just keep it simple. Doubting how powerful we are. We restore oneness within ourselves. Okay. So everybody give Peter a round. First of all, Peter, I don't know if you note it, but you was a warrior for peace here on the planet. Spiritual warrior for peace. My boy, Peter. All right. So that's the first thing to do is pat ourselves on the back for working with that energy. Now, here's also some advice that's coming into my mind. The records are bringing this into my field, although I want to give credit to my dear friend and colleague, Rosalind Fung, who talked about affirmations one time on stage and how, if we're saying an affirmation, I am a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, and your ass is still on food stamps like I was. If you all don't know my story, I was a single mom on food stamps, and the Akashic Records helped me tap into my highest potential timeline. We all have timelines of wealth and abundance. That is the divine design here on the planet. It is your divine right to make a prosperous living for serving the planet in your genius. There is plenty of money to circulate on the planet for this. And I went through a radical timeline, collapse of an old timeline and stepping into a new timeline in about 8 months, where I quintupled my income. And I totally did that through the Akashic Records. And it required definitely getting self-doubt out of the way. All right. So if you are in a place where the affirmation that you have for yourself is really big, I want to be a millionaire, but you're still on the part of your path where you're experiencing the victimhood, and you will experience that along the way in your path. There's nothing wrong with you if you experience that. You don't want to stay in that place, but it's part of the experience that your soul needs to learn to be like, oh yeah, this sucks, and I don't have to choose this. and this is depleting my energy. That's the value of being in the victim space, is that you can get your power back. But if you're still in the victim space and you're projecting your highest timeline of grandeur, there may be a gap for your subconscious mind where you don't believe that's true. So what Roz taught me was, okay, so maybe I'm not a millionaire yet, but do I believe that I can learn how to become a millionaire? I do feel like I can learn how to do that. I'm smart. And when I'm not smart, I'm damn persistent. I can tell you that. So I do believe that I can learn. So if you've got a mantra that and an affirmation that feels bigger than you right now, you got to grow into it. Try to work in the I am learning. You still want to keep the I am portion of the mantra intact. Okay? I am learning to, and you also want to keep your mantras and affirmations framed in the positive. So we don't want to say things like, I am learning to release self-doubt. We want to keep it positive because the subconscious mind doesn't know the not part and just will continue to replicate the self-doubt. So you want to keep it in the positive frame of mind. I am learning to love the most confident version of myself. I am learning to find the most confident version of myself. I am learning to express the most confident version of myself. So the I am learning is a good one. And then another backup I like to use too, because usually why the subconscious mind is rejecting the millionaire status or the full confident status is because we don't feel safe in that identity. So then an I am safe learning to be a millionaire. I am safe learning to have radical confidence. Those two can work really powerfully together. Okay. So to eliminate self-doubt, that's what you do. And speaking the words, I love affirmations and mantras because they are utilizing the sound. Okay, sound is the vibrational frequency that creates. Whether you believe in the Big Bang or whether you believe God spoke the universe into existence, it relies on the vibrational frequency of sound. So as you say these I am mantras out loud, that is like the voice of God speaking. As you incarnate into your human technology, y'all, we are lucky. We are so powerful. We are God's goddess in human physical form. We get to animate and project into this reality. It's fun. Come on. All right, so we're going to do an activation here for courage, because as you guys begin to eliminate self-doubt, I want you to push the boundaries of what is possible for you. I want you to have radical courage to dream freaking big. Okay? Repeat after me. I am here to dream big. I am here to positively influence the future of humanity. I am here to anchor joy and experience joy. And so it is. Yes, anchor that stuff. Good stuff, guys. Send some love, likes, hearts across the screen. Let's blow this mother up in here. Diana. I need help from angels on a book. Right on. This will be fun. I love using the Akashic Records for legacy projects. Rock on. I'm stuck at chapter 5. I'm stuck at 5th chapter. My life is wonderful, but I'm unsure of my abilities. All right. So first thing, the guys are going to continue to build on this idea of syntax, of grammar. We want to be really careful what we're saying. So anytime I notice myself saying that I'm stuck or I'm thinking that I'm stuck, I've installed an internal memo. Let me not look like I'm shooting myself in the head. Although I did get a new memo to go through my mind, and that is when I notice myself saying I'm stuck or I don't know something, I flip the grammar, the syntax, I trade that for I am willing to be guided. Okay. That also came from a great student of mine, Kara Melindy. So that's one thing, is that we want to be really mindful of when we do feel, and we're going to feel stuck as humans. However, we also know from the 7 Hermetic principles that energy is always moving, always vibrating. So while we may seem stuck, that's not the actual reality. And the way that we become gods, goddesses again, and get the energy moving is by shifting I am stuck to I am willing to be guided. All right, so that's the first thing, Diana, is I am willing to be guided on chapter 5. Everybody, I want you to think of a place in your life where you would like some guidance and speak it now. I am willing to be guided on XYZ place in my life. Say it out loud in the room that you're in. We're working here today, using your voice as gods, goddesses. Okay, let's talk about what to do when I'm unsure of my abilities. Okay, when I'm unsure of my abilities, the records are wanting me to share a lot about just what I do when I'm in these situations, because I'm human too, and I find myself in these situations too. When I feel unsure of my abilities, or I want to understand myself and my abilities better, because truthfully, we have such really powerful abilities, although they subtly hide in plain sight because they're so natural to us that we miss them often. So what I ask, what becomes my prayer, my contemplation, my affirmation, is allow me to see myself through the eyes of the divine. Okay. So if you want to see yourself through the eyes of the divine, good thing we did that courage activation earlier. See through the eyes of the divine. All right. So for those of you who want to receive this activation, you can receive it right now. And these activations tend to work 48 hours to the rest of the week here, but between now and the next show. But if you would like to receive this activation so that you can experience from this week to the next time we meet, seeing yourself, and it doesn't have to stop then. I'm just saying that, it's kind of how this is designed, is to give us some KPIs from week to week, key performance indicators. So for those of you who are receiving this activation right now, who would like to see yourself through the eyes of the divine, I want you to, over the course of the next week, observe. This activation is going to be thriving for the next week, whether you see this here or on the replay. You will be activated with the ability to see yourself from the eyes of the divine. And I would love it if you came back and report back, guys, what you notice about yourselves. Although people have a hard time bragging about yourselves, so you might not come back and say that. All right, Diana, I have one more cool thing for you. For anybody out there who's wanting to know more about your abilities, okay? Our psychic abilities, when it comes to psychic abilities, we all have psychic powers. We all have the ability to tap into the Akashic records and read the Akashic records. You don't use your normal outer senses, sight, smell, taste, touch, hearing. You use the inner version of those senses, and those are your psychic senses. All right. And so I have a free training here. I'm going to put this link up on the screen, and you can also find this in the description. This is a free 30-minute training that will teach you how to activate your intuitive senses and exercise them so that they can become a reliable source of wisdom for you in 15 seconds a day. Okay. And we have more senses than clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizance, clairsentience. There are also really cool superpower skills and abilities like time travel. We can all time travel. like being able to become lucid within the dreamscape, like healing, like channeling, right? Like astral travel, like remote viewing. So these intuitive senses that you will learn about and activate in this training, these are the gateways that are going to take you into some of those higher level Jedi skills. Telekinesis, telepathy, those are other ones that we all come programmed with. But that will be your gateway that you can start training to learn more about yourself, to get more self-knowledge. All right? Good stuff. Let's see. There is one more message that the guides want to share about a specific skill that you have. Let me go back here, Diana. That you are a channel, okay? And that you are specifically channeling intelligence in your dreamscape. And to keep up the good work. All right. And let me dive into another question here. Thank you guys so much for being here. Nadia, we're glad you're here. And Regina, we're glad you're here too. All right, guys, I'm going to do another call for questions here. Light up my chat box so I can dive into your Akashic records and take some questions. And sometimes I don't see, I wonder if I can go. I don't see all of the comments. Can't post some comments to some destinations. All right. All right. Well, those of you who I can see your comments, keep lighting up my chat box. All right. While I am waiting for more questions to come in, let's talk a little bit more about how you can do this for yourself. Okay. So the first thing is recognizing that you're going to use a different style of communication, slightly different style of communication in your Akashic records. You're going to use your imagination, the inner version of your sight. So you're going to, some of you who have really powerful clairvoyance, you'll notice that you see images in your mind or you see colors in your mind. Those of you who have powerful clairaudience, you can hear a voice. Sometimes it sounds like your voice. Sometimes it sounds like the voice of God or song lyrics. Those of you who are clairsentient, you feel energy. You can feel emotions or sensation in the body. It can be temperature and or like getting the goosies. And claircognizance, which is a clear knowing, where you just feel like all of a sudden you get it down low. You get high level awareness about a subject, a topic that feels like it filled in a lot of gaps. Okay, that's the starting point, is starting to exercise those skills that we all have. And then we use a piece of technology known as the crystalline tube of light. Who's heard of the crystalline tube of light before? I thought I made it up. So the way I teach people how to read their own Akashic records is uniquely gifted to me by my guides, although it's not the only way at all to get into the Akashic records. There are 1,000,001 and more ways to get into the Akashic records. The key is that you have to be a vibrational match to that frequency. And remember, I talked about it being a vibrational frequency of unconditional love and zero judgment. So I take people through a short visual meditation practice and use a piece of technology called the crystalline tube of light. It is a plasma technology, and it works through a lattice geometrical structure that rearranges itself. I'm doing this like a spiraling energy. We use a spiraling energy through the crystalline tube of light. And then based on your intention for what information you want to get, the plasma rearranges itself into a lattice structure that the information flows back into your body on. So once you learn how to use the crystalline tube of light, whatever's coming into your imagination, your thoughts, the projections, the images, the feelings, it all is coming from the crystalline tube of light, which is bringing in the data that you asked for. Okay, it's also important where you anchor the crystalline tube of light so that you're getting the highest level of information. For those of you who do feel excited to study and learn more about your Akashic records, I have a training. We're now accepting new students into the training program that will teach you a comprehensive structure and methodology, not only to read your Akashic records and to read and rewrite them. You go through that process in the training as well. I teach you how to read for other people. So people, if you feel like that you want to support others with this, that is available to you. And for those of you guys who are interested in learning more about training, I'm going to suggest that you hop on a free call with me. I will take you through an initiation interview. See if this is the right fit for you. All righty. All right, Jamie Hartwig, thank you for being here. I'd like to understand how to propel my business as a somatic therapist. Yes, let's dive in. Being specific on my neurogenic tremoring techniques or guiding people through my custom-made tailored meditations. Okay, so instantly what I'm feeling is the specific neurogenic tremoring techniques. There's a lot of energy around that. One of the reasons is because you have a very specific audience. And anytime that we can serve one person very, very specifically, somebody who has neurogenic tremors, that's powerful. Okay. So I'm definitely feeling the energy around focusing on that. And Jamie, you want to focus on problems and benefits. Okay. So somebody who has neurogenic tremors, they're going to have challenges doing things. Okay. Maybe brushing their teeth or dropping their hairbrush, doing things that, the hands maybe start to tremor. Although when you said neurogenic tremors, I'll be honest, I don't know what a neurogenic tremor is. So maybe it's a tremor within the mind. But I'm just thinking through, like, what are the challenges that somebody with a neurogenic tremor can have, the everyday challenges? Okay. And you want to speak to those challenges. And then you want to speak to the benefit. So if I have had challenges doing something as simple as brushing my teeth, and I'm feeling the frustration of like not being able to operate my body the way I used to operate my body, that's going to really affect my self-worth, likely kick me into depression. You want to talk about the benefits of not having that, the relief of having control of your life back. Okay? And so when you zero in on your message and how you serve people by focusing on the problems that you solve and how life gets to change, rather than the tremor techniques themselves, you're going to magnetize the people into your field that need, or I should say, that are in soul contract to work with you. All right, the guides would also like to do an activation for any of our spiritual entrepreneurs out there. I talked about, my own experience as a spiritual entrepreneur and going from being on food stamps and a single mom of 3 kids to figuring it out. Okay. And for those of you, if you are a spiritual entrepreneur and you're feeling challenged, you want to step up into more freedom and more authority in your own business. Let's see. Hang on one. Let me grab a link for you guys, because I can share with you how the Akashic Records helped me with that. Although I will say this is a free call. If you have a spiritual business, let me thank you. I look for it. Discovered call. If you're just starting your business, this is not the right opportunity for you and I to hop on a call. Okay. This is, where is the freaking business one? Business assessment. Thank you, angels. There we go. Okay. This is another opportunity for a free connection call. This is only for those of you who have a spiritual business and you've been in business at least 6 months to a year. You got to have some experience under your belt. Otherwise, there's a learning curve in the beginning. Okay? We all have this learning curve where you got to make some mistakes and figure out what you're not doing right in order to be ready to take advice from somebody who knows what they're doing. I've tried to help people from very, very scratch get their business up and going. And you got to do your thing, make your mistakes. It's important. It's an important part of the process. Okay. But if you have been in business for a while and you feel like you're struggling, I can help you rearrange some things. It's going to require you to think about your business differently, though. So you got to be ready to think about your business differently. Make sense? Okay. There you go. All right, let's dive back in here and keep rocking and rolling. Nadia, I feel that I am highly intuitive and you have claircognizance, but you need to fine tune it for sure. Yes, excellent. I love that you are already noticing and willing to say about yourself, Nadia, that you are highly intuitive, because that is true. And that claircognizance feels alive in your field. So Nadia, make sure that you grab that link for intuitive development. Again, this is a free training that will isolate what those different in clairs look like and how you can begin to work with them, strengthen them so that they work for you. Oh, Wizard Ward is here. Hello, hello. Kev said you did make it up along with many others. Yep, with the crystalline tube of light. We made it up. We tapped in for sure. Okay, let me just cruise through here and see if there are any more questions. Last chance for questions. I have answered all of the questions that I see on my end. If you asked a question today and I did not answer it, it's because I did not see it on StreamYard. So somewhere in there, there's a button you can push. I don't know where it is. That one's above my pay grade. There's a button you can push so that I can see your comments on StreamYard. We're going to have some opportunities to hang out in person coming up. Conscious Life Expo. How many of you all like to rock the scene at Conscious Life Expo? It's a big expo, big old conference in Los Angeles where all of the leading edge spiritual visionaries, thought leaders, and difference makers are all gathered under one roof. So if you want to come to Conscious Life Expo, I'm going to be speaking at Conscious Life Expo. Stay tuned. We'll share more about where you can get tickets. I'm also scheduled to speak at a conference in Sedona, Rise of the Guardians. This one's going to be a fun one. Y'all, Sedona. Ow, we're so good. And then we've got our annual trip to Shasta coming up as well. So stay tuned, stay close and connected. Regina, on YouTube, I had a question. Well, I don't see it, Regina. Put it in here. I'll stay on for a little bit longer to see. Oh, I do see your question. Is all energy plasma? Okay, let me tap in and see what the guys have to say about all energy being plasma. A plasma is a particular state of energy. Here's what they're saying. The guys are saying everything is energy. Everything vibrates and is energy. Okay. Not everything is necessarily plasma. There are different states of energy. So solid, liquid, gas, plasma. Okay. And the cool things about plasma is a highly conscious state of matter. Okay. 3-Eye Atlas. This visitor that is in our solar system right now, this is a plasma being. Okay, so plasma is another state of matter. Jamie said I was cute. Thanks, Jamie. I'll take it. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for spending time here with me today. If this has served you, do me a favor and do a whole humanities a favor. Share this out. There's somebody out there in your field that will benefit from the intelligence that came in today. And remember, if you're a spiritual entrepreneur, you need some help and support, we did offer a free business assessment call for you today to get your businesses up and going and thriving. You deserve it and the planet needs it. And let's see, what else do I want to say to y'all? Oh yes, the free gift. Okay. The intuitive development training course. It's 30 minutes that will be infinitely valuable in your life, because what that training will do is you will learn to turn on your intuition, your psychic senses in 15 seconds a day so that they can become a reliable source of wisdom for you. You'll get messages more clearly. You will naturally doubt yourself less. Okay. And you will spend less time in indecision. So if that is you, make sure you grab intuitive development. I love you guys. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next week.
The Akashic Records hold all information, past, present, and future, and are available to assist you now.
Do you seek answers within yourself but don't know if you can trust your intuition? Do you desire positive change in life but feel unsupported by others? Do you suffer from failure to execute but have hit your point of enough? Not only have I been there, but I have found my way out, and so can you. The Akashic Records are your key to understanding any area of stagnation and hold solutions to your greatest challenges. My mission is to teach you everything I know about the Akashic Records, how to use them with mastery, while always staying in beginner's mind, which will keep you humble yet powerful. It's all within you. Come, let me show you.
What have I gained from the Akashic Records? Reading the Akashic Records has strengthened and deepened my intuition, and at the same time allowed me to build a deeper connection with the inner wisdom of my gut and my heart in order to be able to support and challenge the decisions that I've made in my head.
Learning to read the Akashic Records helped me to cultivate the courage and the knowledge to start a new business. It helped guidance become clearer. It helped me become more confident for my entire life moving forward.